know that just 3% of your fashion business decisions could determine 97% of your success? Yes, only 3%. In today's video, I'm going to review the 3% rule in fashion, which is a wealth principle that the top fashion entrepreneurs use, but almost nobody talks about it. If you're a tailor, designer, or a fashion business owner struggling to make consistent profits, this one rule can change your financial life. Stick around till the end because I will not only explain the rule, but I will show you practical steps to apply in order for you to improve your sewing business. Before we dive in, welcome to Fashion Finance, the channel where I teach you how to grow wealth through fashion, sewing, and smart money strategies. My name is Ajina. Don't forget to subscribe because what I'm about to share today could literally raise your income and then transform your brand. Let's get to it. What is the 3% rule? When I first started in fashion, I thought success was about working harder, making more clothes, and serving more customers, but I was very wrong. Then I discovered something very powerful. In every business, only a tiny fraction, around 3% of activities creates the biggest result. Here are the 3% rule in fashion. Number one, 3% of your customers that brings in most of your revenue. Number two is the 3% of your product that makes you the most money. And then number three is 3% of your business habits that determines your long-term survival. Now let's talk about the 3% customers. In every market, not all customers are created equal. Some buy once and disappear, some bargain endlessly, and then there's always a small elite group, and they are the ones referred to as the 3% customers. These people don't just want clothes, they want status, exclusivity, and convenience. They pay for speed, luxury, and quality. They don't argue about price. In fact, they value you more when you charge them very high. These customers are the backbone of luxury brands, bridal wear designers, and high-end tailors across the world. Now let's define them clearly. These 3% customers are customers that shop frequently and spend more per order. They are customers that don't settle for cheap fabrics or brush stitches. They are very loyal advocates because they can refer their friends, family, and colleagues, and they love exclusivity, limited edition, and luxury. For example, if you're a tailor, think of the bride who is ready to pay you 500,000 for her dream gown, or the business professional who wants 5 office outfits delivered in 7 days without stress. These are not just random walk-in customers. They are your 3% customers. Here's the shocking truth. Most fashion entrepreneurs waste 90% of their energy chasing low-paying and difficult customers. But the big money, the real growth comes from the 3% customers. Let's do some quick mathematics. If you sell a dress for 20,000 and you have 10 regular customers, you make 200,000. But if you focus on your 3% customers and sell premium dresses at 150,000 naira each, just 3 customers can give you 450,000 naira. That's double the revenue with less stress, less work, and fewer complaints. Now you may be wondering, how do I find these people? Here are practical steps you can apply to find these people. Look at your past sales and check who spent the most money with you before. Watch for repeat buyers who keeps coming back without haggling. Then listen to lifestyle clues of your customers, especially those who talks about traveling, parties, corporate jobs, or weddings. They are often your 3% customers. These 3% customers are also customers who love posting pictures and then tagging you and showing off your designs. These are just your natural 3% customers. Even if you only have 10 regular customers, one of them is likely in that 3%. So identify them, serve them better, and watch your income multiply. So now you understand the power of the 3% customers. They are not just your clients. They are the engine of your business growth. So stop wasting time chasing everyone. Focus on the few who pay more, complain less, and then keep coming back. Number 2 is your 3% product. Now let's break down what I mean by 3% product. In fashion, you might have 20, 30, or even 50 different outfits that you can sew. But if you study your sales carefully, you will realize that only 1 to 3 products are actually bringing in the majority of your income. This is the 3% rule of fashion products. For example, if you're a tailor sewing kitwear, you may find out that ball dresses for birthdays outsell every other design. If you're sewing for women, maybe it's bridal gowns or aswebi lace styles that brings in most of the profits. If you're into men's fashion, it might be kaftans or corporate suits. Okay, so the truth is your 3% products are the ones your market demands repeatedly at higher prices and with less resistance. Let me ask you this question. If I open your order book right now, what is the one design that customers request the most? Drop it in the comments, because that is a clue to your 3% products. Here is the sad truth. Most tailors in Nigeria are stuck because they try to sew everything. One day they are sewing a wedding gown, the next week it's a baby dress, they are even trying jeans, jacket, agbada and so on. This is a recipe for burnout and poverty. Meanwhile, the tailors who scale into 6 and 7 figures, they double down on their 3% product and become the go-to brand for that category. Alright, so think about it. Why is Vicky James known? You already know the answer to that question. She didn't try to be everything. She dominated because she focused on her 3% product. So how do you know what your 3% products are? Here are the 3 ways to know that. Number 1, check your repeat orders. What do customers keep ordering again and again? Number 2, check your profit margins. Which designs bring in the most profit after materials and labor? Number 3, check your demand hotspots. What are people searching for on Instagram, TikTok, or you can even ask tailors around you. Now let me give you an example. I once worked with a tailor who sold everything, but when we analyzed her sales, we discovered that 70% of her income was coming from children birthday dresses. She dropped other distractions, built a brand around luxury kiddies ball gowns, and within a year she doubled her income. That is the power of focusing on your 3% product. So the next time you're overwhelmed with 100 different sewing ideas, pause and ask yourself, which 3% products will change my life? The next point today is the 3% habit. Most people think success in fashion comes from creating the perfect dress or opening a fancy shop or getting celebrity client. No, that is surface level. The truth is this: your habit will make or break your business. So here are the 3% habits you should emulate. Number 1 is financial discipline. The successful fashion entrepreneur never treats money casually. They separate business money from personal money. They price their work with profit in mind without fear of losing customers. And they reinvest the earnings by saving at least 10% and then reinvesting 20% into the business. Meanwhile, the 97% other ones, they spend everything they make. They undercharge because they are afraid of losing clients and they never track cash flow. So ask yourself right now, do you know exactly how much profit you made last month? If not, you're behaving like the 97%, not the 3%. Now, number 2 is branding over hustling. The 3% don't just sell or sew. They build a brand identity, a logo, a consistent color theme, a customer experience that people can trust. So they understand that in fashion, people don't just buy fabric, they buy feelings, status, and confidence. So while the 97% are running from one client to another, sewing endlessly without structure, the 3% are designing Instagram pages that look like magazines, packaging their clothes like luxury, and then charging premium prices. Now, habit number 3 is that the 3% track time like money. Here is a painful truth: time is more expensive than fabric. The 3% habit is time management. They plan production schedules. They know how many dresses they can deliver per week. They already batch their task. They don't allow one customer to waste 3 hours of their day bargaining. Meanwhile, the 97% of other ones are busy but not productive. They waste hours gossiping in the shop, scrolling online, or making last-minute runs to the market because they fail to plan their fabric sourcing. If you want to be in the 3%, master your calendar as much as your tape measure. Habit number 4 is that the 3% market their products daily. The 3% don't wait for customers to find them. They market consistently every day. That means posting on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and then running small ad, even if it's just 2,000 naira ad, networking and all of that, showing behind the scenes of their work, while the 97% only market when business is dry. They complain clients are not coming, but they don't show up online. Now listen carefully. If you don't market daily, you don't exist in today's fashion business. Habit number 5 is that the 3% keep learning and innovating. The 3% habit is a lifelong learning. They invest in courses, they attend fashion business seminars, they buy books on money management, they study what Zara or even small brands are actually doing to stay ahead. Now the 97% only rely on the skills they learned years ago. They repeat the same styles, ignore trends, and then resist change. So in fashion, if you stop learning, you start dying. Now you know the 3% rule in fashion. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing the few things that truly matter. So I challenge you this week. Write down your 3% clients, your 3% products, and your 3% habits. Focus on them for the next 30 days and watch your income change. If you found this video very valuable, hit the like button, share it with another tailor or fashion entrepreneur, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because more interesting topics will be coming on this channel. I'll see you all in